a shrimp sheet pan pita. So I've got mushrooms, yellow squash, red onion, and asparagus. And I'm drizzling with olive oil. I'm gonna grab salt and pepper. You know the drill. And then I've got some Italian seasoning, which is also kind of like Mediterranean seasoning, depending on what's in it. The bottle actually said Mediterranean/Italian seasoning. So they're not exactly the same, but there's a lot of overlap. All right, and then I'm gonna use tongs just to stir everything together. So I scooted them all over to one side. And now I've got some colossal shrimp, which is actually known as U15 shrimp, meaning there are under 15 shrimp per pound. And spreading them out, and then I'm actually gonna sprinkle just a little bit of salt and pepper on the shrimp. But this is basically the beginning of the recipe, and it's gonna get more interesting from here. A little bit more Mediterranean seasoning. And then let's go get this pan in the oven, Paigey. So this is gonna go in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes or so. And when I put these in, I'm also gonna add some pita that I have wrapped in foil, and it's gonna warm at the same time everything else cooks. All right? All right, while the shrimp and veggies finish cooking, I'm gonna make a delicious lemony yogurt sauce for the pitas. So it starts with yogurt, plain Greek yogurt to be exact. All right, so lemon juice and then a whole bunch of lemon zest. This is very lemony. And some fresh dill chopped. So Paige, look at this. Can you wrap your head around this or what? Isn't that pretty? Okay, and then a little bit of salt and pepper. And give it one more stir. And then, you know what time it is, Paige? Let's go get the shrimp and veggies out of the oven. And the pita, we can't forget the pita. All right, check it out. Ooh, that looks so good. And I'm gonna grab the pita bread, which is nice and warm and soft by now. Boy, it smells good in this kitchen. I love food like this, don't you?
Looks
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
Look at this.
Those
Okay.
shrimp are huge.
I have a lot of things going on. Well, it's colossal shrimp, hello. All right, so I've got some more lemon and I'm gonna squeeze it over the shrimp and the veggies and stir with tongs. And there's some juice in the bottom of the pan, and that's just perfect because it makes everything just much more delicious and succulent. And then everybody can build their own, and this is how you build it. Woo, warm. So I've got this delicious lemony yogurt sauce. So I'll put a nice, generous quantity in the warm pita, and then a couple of pieces of lettuce and some tomato. Just shove in there as much as you can. And then I'm gonna start with veggies first, and then a couple of these massive shrimp. I've never seen anything like this. They're big and beautiful and shrimpy.
Big, beautiful, and shrimpy.
And then feta. I love the combination of the roasted veggies, the cooked shrimp, the cool feta, and the sliced mixed olives. And then you've got that lemony yogurt down inside.
Mom!
I had to, I'm sorry. Ooh, that is really good. Great combination of ingredients. So I'm gonna turn Caesar salad into Caesar salad with shrimp, but I'm also changing up the way that I prepare the lettuce. Almost every Caesar salad has chopped romaine. Sometimes I'll do an entire heart of romaine, but this time I cut them into quarters. It is going to make a gorgeous and elegant salad. I really like changing up flavors, but also the way I present a recipe. So now it's all about the Caesar dressing. I have a jar of garlic olive oil. This is going to add such a flavor punch to my regular Caesar dressing recipe. So I'll start with about half a cup, And it saves me a step because I don't have to mince the garlic myself. Dijon is something I like to add to Caesar dressing. It adds a great tanginess, about a tablespoon. Same amount of balsamic vinegar, a few dashes of Worcestershire sauce, and this is controversial. Not everybody likes to add anchovies to their Caesar dressing, but I do. It's very subtle, it's not fishy. I'm adding about 4 fillets. And then I've got a lemon, and I'm gonna add about half of the juice. Okay, now some salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna mix it up before I add the next ingredient. That came together very quickly. I'm gonna add some grated Parmesan. The texture of Parmesan cheese in Caesar dressing is so nice. Okay, this dressing is just the right consistency. You want it to be pretty thin because you want it to kind of have a chance to seep into the leaves of the romaine. It's just lovely. And I like that you don't have to toss it. It's nice to just pour them down these strips of romaine lettuce. And I'm gonna cover the top of this salad with beautiful cooked shrimp. These are about 16 to 20 count, which means there are 16 to 20 shrimp per pound. But you can use whatever shrimp you have. You can do really big, colossal shrimp. You can do tiny little popcorn shrimp. That would be fine too. I'm gonna add some slices of avocado. Because I left the lettuce in such large pieces, I wanted to leave the avocado in pretty spears. This salad really is as much about the presentation as it is about the flavors. You know what? Something's missing. Croutons. That's good because I have that covered. I would not have a Caesar salad without croutons. I made my own, the same croutons I make time and time again. They definitely needed no revamping. They're garlicky croutons and they're very simple. I put half a loaf of crusty French bread cut into cubes on a sheet pan and spread them out. Then I drizzled over 1/4 cup of the garlic olive oil I used in the dressing. I sprinkled them with half a teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, tossed the cubes to coat them, then put them in a 250-degree oven. And when 25 minutes were up, they were deliciously crispy, and I took them out and let them cool. Croutons are the best. I could snack on these, honestly. Now just a couple more things to finish off this beautiful salad. I've got some fresh Parmesan. And then just for a little bit of herby freshness, I've got some parsley leaves, which I think is kind of in with the theme of keeping things in big pieces. And then this can never hurt. Just another little squeeze of lemon juice just to finish things off. This is a Caesar salad with shrimp. I may never be able to go back to the old way of doing things. I'm here at Food Network Kitchen getting ready to make shrimp pasta in a foil package, and I'm excited because I happen to be hungry right now. So these shrimp are going to go in the oven, so I don't even need to cook them all the way. I'm just getting a little bit of color on the outside. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Garlic is the stuff of life. I've got 2 big pieces of foil on a sheet pan. So this goes into the oven. It's so simple, but there's something special about it. I highly recommend serving with a loaf of crusty bread. Tear off a piece and dab it in that deliciousness, and the heavens will open up. Thanks to Food Network for having me. This is fun. I'm gonna eat now. To go over the top of the shrimp tacos, I'm gonna throw together a really simple slaw. I've got some regular cabbage and some purple cabbage. And now I'll make the dressing, which is equally simple. I'm gonna start with about half a cup of mayonnaise and some milk. I always start with that creamy base, no matter what dressing I'm making. And then just sugar, vinegar, and cayenne. I like to add a little sweetness to the dressing. Hyacinth and Mallory have been going to market for me. They went in the months leading up to the mercantile opening. I was a little busy and couldn't go, and they have been so helpful to me. I'm gonna add a little salt and pepper. They go to market, kind of scout out what's there, separate the wheat from the chaff, and then we get together. They show me everything they found, and we make our selections. Okay, now the dressing goes over the cabbage. That really was the perfect amount of dressing. It's a good sign. I just have a couple of more things to add to the slaw. I'm just gonna use half a fresh jalapeno, and then I have a ton of cilantro. Now I just gotta toss it up. Make sure all of the cabbage is coated in the slaw. It's time to move on to the shrimp. I've got a skillet that I've been heating some vegetable oil in, and I'm just gonna go straight into the skillet with them. The great thing about shrimp with 16-minute meals is they take almost no time at all to cook. Even some big pieces of chicken can take a good 15, 20 minutes to cook all the way through. Shrimp, we're just talking about a couple minutes, especially when they're this nice small size.
All right, getting another fabulous Pioneer Woman meal.
I wonder what we're gonna have this time.
I know, she always sort of taunts me by not telling me. She keeps that sort of under wraps.
It's an adventure that way.
Yeah, I think she likes to spring surprises on us.
The shrimp are cooking away, so it's a good time to sprinkle on a little bit of cumin. I've got some red enchilada sauce. If you can find Mexican red sauce in a can, it is particularly tasty. Okay, now this skillet is so hot, the sauce is really gonna start bubbling up. And just because I can, I'm gonna drop in a little pat of butter just to add some extra richness and loveliness and awesomeness, and I could go on and on. So I'm gonna turn the heat down to simmer just so they keep warm. Okay, I just wrapped tortillas in a paper towel. I'm just gonna warm them up for about 40 seconds.
All right, I'm hungry, are you?
Me too.
Yay, it's always nice to have dinner meetings. Love it. Hello.
Hey, get on in here, girls.
Oh, your ears are here now.
Good.
How's it going?
Great, hi.
Oh my
Smells
gosh,
fantastic.
it does smell
What are you
so
cooking us?
good.
I am cooking you shrimp tacos, and I am so glad you showed up for our meeting.
Yeah, I love to
Important
meet.
things
I
here.
am very hungry. I want this meeting to begin.
Yes.
So I've got the shrimp simmering away. Oh, I've got
Ooh.
wine glasses for us too.
Oh, say no more.
Hyacinth
my
knows
gosh.
me so well. She knows when I'm dropping subtle hints.
Oh
that
yeah, that was subtle.
I'm
Yeah,
digging in
just
over
dig
here.
girls.
Don't mind me.
Oh,
Woo, hot, hot, hot.
yum.
So yeah, just dive in. Here,
Okay.
Mal, get some shrimp.
Ooh, yum.
Slaw.
Yes, indeed. Say no more.
And it is
Oh my gosh, this looks so good.
spicy,
Okay.
shall we say.
Okay. I might put on the side for now.
So, Mal, what is wrong with this picture?
Wedding diet.
She's got to fit into her wedding dress. Oh, I've been there. I've been there. It's been 20 years, but I've been there.
We're beyond that now.
I'm ready
You get
to be
to a
past
point
it.
where you just don't worry about it that much.
Your pico de gallo is my absolute favorite.
yes.
Oh, I'm actually gonna grab some avocado.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a glass of wine.
Got it?
Say no more.
You guys ready to go eat?
Absolutely.
Cheers. One of the main things I get asked about is how to make quick meals. I have a section on my cooking website called 16-Minute Meals, and I got an interesting question last week. Somebody said, I've cooked all your 16-minute meals. How about a 10-minute meal? So immediately my shrimp stir fry came to mind. I've got 2 pounds of shrimp and I threw them into this big skillet with a little oil and butter. Now I've got the heat on high and that's part of what makes this meal so quick. Everything cooks really, really fast. Okay, I'll let the shrimp go for a little bit and then I'll dice up some veggies. I've got 2 zucchini and I'll just lop off the sides, cut them in half, cut them into quarters, and then I'm just gonna dice them up. Okay, now I'm gonna give the shrimp another little stir. I wanna make sure they keep cooking evenly. Shrimp is perfect for quick meals because it cooks really fast and it's one of those great things to keep in the freezer. Definitely a staple. Okay, now I'm gonna throw in a little garlic. Adds big flavor. Stir that around. Okay, now I've got some fresh corn and it's raw. I'm just gonna cut it right off the cob. I'm gonna hope it stays on the cutting board and doesn't go all over the floor. I love using fresh corn. It's really crunchy. Okay, I'm gonna check the shrimp again. Okay, they are looking perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out of the pan because I don't want them to get too tough, too chewy. Shrimp are best when they're just barely cooked through. Okay, now I'm gonna put a little more oil and butter in the skillet. Get that stirred around. Now I'm gonna add everything in stages. The first thing I'll throw in is the zucchini. It'll take just a little bit longer to cook than the other veggies. The secret here is just to stir it around, let it cook for about 45 seconds to a minute, not very long at all. The key here is to put the tougher vegetables in first because they need a little bit longer to cook. Great, so now I'm not gonna take it out of the pan, I'm just gonna scoot it out to the outer edges of the pan, and then I'll grab the corn and throw it right in the center. I really am throwing corn everywhere. There will be aftermath. Okay, now I'll just kind of stir this around, let it start to cook in the center. Okay, this would be a really good time to salt and pepper everything. The corn doesn't need too long at all. The point is not to cook the corn all the way through. I just want to get it warm, basically. I like it to be really crunchy. That's enough time. So now I'll scoop the corn out of the center of the pan. And then I have about a cup each of red and yellow grape tomatoes, and I just cut them in half. And I'll throw these in the center. And I don't want to cook these at all. Again, I just want to warm them up. And then the shrimp goes back in. And I get all the juices from the pan. That's flavor right there. Stir that around. And then honestly, what totally makes this dish is lemon juice. I'll just squeeze a whole lemon all over the top, let it kind of sizzle in there with the butter and oil, and it just creates this delicious flavor. It makes it really fresh. And then the basil goes in. And then another thing I love to add is a cup of Parmesan shavings. I'll just throw it right in. And then give it a toss. Dinner is done. I have to say, I think that was a little less than 10 minutes.